Welcome back to Malachi's Journey to Financial Freedom. Today, I'm going to run a review of the Perceptrader AI Bot. It's been approximately 10 weeks, mid-July, since I bought this, I believe, and I was really excited when I saw it. I was on the website waiting to buy it at, I believe it was 9 a.m. when it was going to be released. I actually hit the refresh button at 8:55, and the bot was available, so I went ahead and bought it. One thing about the company, Valery Trading, the developer, is as more people buy the bots, she does raise her price. So currently it looks like the price of the bot is $2,000. So it's almost, I think it was $1,200 when I bought it, but if you use the link, it'll be 10% off, so $1,800 on her website. I think it was $1,200 when I bought it, but I had the 10% off, so it was $1,080. So it's almost, not quite, but almost doubled in price in 2.5 months. That's how much traction it's got. And I will tell you what I saw about this and what I like, and then we'll jump in. I'm going to run through the settings. I have had a lot of people ask about the set file, and I'm going to run through the reviews of different settings that we've had on test and live accounts. First off, what I really liked about this when I saw it is that it has two things that I really liked, along with the quality of bots that company, that developer, Valery. I don't know if it's one person. I know there's one face to it, but I don't know if they've got a team or not. But they put out quality. And what I really liked about this design was that it has a unique mode, which would allow me to run it on prop firms and not get flagged for copy trading with other bots. What does that mean? There's some way it's built in that each bot is not taking the same trade, no matter how many bots are running on the same platform. And I don't know how she does that. It's amazing. And it means that I can use it on a prop firm, and I can try and, not get flagged for copy trading, which is one of the biggest problems with using a commercially developed bot on the prop firm. So I guess I should say at this time, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't play one on TV. I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. All I'm doing is documenting what I'm doing in my journey to financial freedom, how I'm going about trying to make my money. And in that process, I hope that you can use this for educational purposes and can learn something about the process. And it may not be for everyone, but it is, it may be, even if you just learn a small part from it, take something away from it, then maybe that'll help. What I like about the bot, other than the unique mode, is the AI filter. It uses ChatGPT or Bard to screen out trades that go against the current trend of the market. And I'll show you, we'll pick one and I'll show you that. But let's jump right in. Okay, so I've got my virtual private server pulled up here that has a version of the Perceptrader AI Bot running. This one is, you can look over here and it's running in standard mode. It shows the version. So what I found so far is that standard mode takes obviously more trades than the unique mode. So if I'm running on my own account, which this has $5,000 in it, started at 1 month ago, right at just over 6% a month. So first off, before we jump into everything, I just want to run through the settings, and I'm going to show you the properties and the settings here. And let's just make this hopefully a little bigger so everyone can see it. And here's what we're going to look at. So I'm just going to run through these. Some of them are obvious, some of them are not. And I get a lot of questions about this. Guys, this comes with a 116-page manual with FAQs and all the settings, I think, start at page 75. And I've got it pulled up here just in case I run into one that I actually pulled it up next to this in case I run into something that I don't recognize. So the basic settings, check for instances of the EA. So you can turn this true or false. If it has, there's a mode that allows it to run multiple instances on the same platform. I haven't gotten into that yet. The portfolio mode, or you could run Waka Waka and the Golden Pickaxe on the same, all on the same MT4 platform without having to have different accounts. So I leave that as true. Otherwise, you have to change the UID for each one to run. So it's going to check for ones that are the same UID. Obviously, we want to allow opening and new initial trades. It says allow manual trading buttons false. If you want to manually trade also, then that's fine. You can turn that to true. So I get a lot of questions about lot sizing and risk method. Let's just look at all of these starting from the top. So these are based, this is on the initial trade. So fixed lot is going to be a fixed lot amount for the initial trade. So lots based on deposit load. What that means is you're down below, you'll give it a percentage, deposit load percentage over here, and the lot will be based on that. Those are already built in on your bot right here. High risk, 1% of the load, 1.5%. Significant risk, 1.0% of load. Mid risk, 0.5% of load. Low risk, 0.25% of load. So that is specifically based on the percentage of the deposit load that will be used totally to open the initial trade. One more time. Deposit load percentage. So either way you're going in here, the percentage is going to be based on the percentage of the deposit that will be totally used to open the initial trade. So if you have $5,000 in here and the deposit, and I'm at 1.5% risk load, so 5,000 times 0.015. So that means it's going to be using $75 to open the initial load. So we know fixed lot, dynamic. So dynamic is just basically basing on the balance or the equity. So you can do dynamic based on balance, dynamic based on equity, and you can do it based on the deposit load. So those are what I use. And I use these presets. This one I'm running high risk. Leave that on high risk. Okay, so fixed lot, you can change that if you're doing fixed lot. Dynamic, all this is a mathematical equation for balance to equity ratios that you can change that number to increase or decrease how much of your equity you're spending on that. Rounding method, it just rounds up or down depending on if it's a fraction. Max lot per order. Now, I'm not going to get to this in a $5,000 account, but the max lots are 100. So most brokers will only allow you to trade 100 lots per order. So you could set this up, and you can actually set it up down below. There's a setting to split that up. If you were at, say, 150 and you had a huge account or a micro account that you're trading bigger lots, it would split it up into 2 orders, so you met the standard. In fact, right here it is auto split right below that. So this is just setting your spread in pips. If it goes above that, then it shouldn't trade it. And the slippage. All right, let's scroll down here. Okay, portfolio mode is new. I haven't had a chance to play with it, but basically in portfolio mode, it checks and will let you run multiple bots in there, and then it checks to see if they already opened a trade in that pair and doesn't take the same trade. So I haven't had a chance to mess with it, but that's an interesting concept. So you can get multiple bots that are trading on slightly different strategies, open up different trades, but within the same pairs. And it checks for Waka Waka and the Golden Pickaxe as well. So maximum symbols at a time means you're only going to trade 2 pairs. It's only going to open up positions on 2 pairs at a time. So you could make that larger if you so desired to have more trades. One of the biggest complaints about this bot is people complain about the number of trades that it makes. But this basically is to keep you from getting too deep into too many martingale grid systems at a time so that there's not enough money for the drawdown. Disable trades on the same side of a currency, false. I have that set for false. Allow hedging. Hedging is basically allows you, I'm going to disable trades on the same side of the currency. This option basically disables opening of two initial trades on the same side of the currency. For example, it can help prevent having two shorts on the CAD dollar at the same time. So, if you're going Aussie CAD and US CAD, it's not going to short the Canadian dollar on both charts. Is the way I understand it. And that basically just keeps you once again from getting over leveraged into one thing, especially if one product is one coin, one currency is really taking a hit that day. Allow buys and sells, yes. So let's just skip down. The max floating drawdown, I have this set for 30%. So if this bot hits a floating drawdown of 30%, it will close and stop all the trades until I restart it. If you're running this on a prop firm, I have the one on my prop firm running at about 8% on bots like this. And the max daily drawdown limit for like FTMO rules, 5% on a prop firm. I usually set it at 3.5 or 4%. That way, if the market's moving and there's some slippage, it's closing the trades before it's at 5% and not after. And then your options, if it hits a drawdown, you can have the options on what it does. And I just say, stop trading until I restart it, but it can stop trading until the end of the day. It can close all trades and resume trading as normal. It can just prohibit opening new grids. So you could basically say, we're going to stay in the drawdown, but we're not going to, until we review it, we're not going to take any more trades. Hours, if you have days or times you don't want to trade market open, don't want to trade Fridays, you can set all that in there. I just leave it, it's open for everything. Symbols. So a lot of the set files have removed the pound franc because it was a lot of movement and having issues. I've left it in there. It hasn't caused me any problems. And symbol suffix. What I have found is, like, this is .pro. And if you want to run on, if you look up at my chart, it says .pro after the pair. So if that's where you're running that, you can put .pro. It is case specific. So I did it first, capital P, lowercase r, and lowercase o, and it didn't work. On another one, I actually had to go in behind each symbol and add the suffix. It was a .I. And it did not work when I put it down here, but it did work when I did that. So trading setup. This is what I was talking about. You can do trading, standard trades or unique trades. And then on that, you can adjust your trading frequency. So if that's for unique mode, you can go more frequent trades up to the top. Daily ATR period, you can adjust that. It's one of the indicators it uses. I leave it the same. It works fine for me. So let's get down to market forecast. So use ChatGPT or use Bard AI forecast. I'm going to jump back. I have them both turned on for true. I'm going to jump back and show you how that works. Okay. Perceptrader AI machine learning setup. I'm just going to read this so I get it right. This is like the 5th time I've read it and I've messed it up 5 times. So enable neural network filter, enable or disable filter of trades using machine learning technology based on perceptron and the minimum probability of profit percent. Minimal predicted probability that a trade will result in profit. If perceptron predicts a lower value, the trading signal will be ignored and the initial trade will be skipped. So I had to go look up what is Perceptron. I mean, I know this is the Perceptrader AI bot, but so that is a neural network link that contains computations to track features and uses artificial intelligence in the input data known as Perceptron. So basically, it's a machine learning mode, and it's learning and deciding, and should get better as we all run it theoretically if it's running back to a central machine learning mode, but it should get better and predict. It should predict that. So if it doesn't predict it 90% that the trade's going to be profitable, won't take it. I like that. I'm okay with taking less trades as long as they're profitable. Obviously, you can set your take profit and stop loss. I've left it at 9.9. That seems to be a good number for me. But, you know, I guess someone could go through and play with it and get different settings for that. It does allow you to hide the take profit and the stop losses if you think that your broker is stop loss hunting. So randomize take profit levels. I have that turned off, but that would probably be one that you could also put in, kind of randomizing that. I don't know what the spread would be. So it also max random delay before sending orders in seconds. If you are, once again, trying to create something that's more random and not as obvious, and kind of get away from the bot that someone else might be using, you can actually put more time in there so that it waits 60 seconds to take the order, so it's in a different minute and maybe doesn't get flagged for copy trading. Adjust the grid multipliers. Once again, I leave those the same. This is a winner. I'm not going to mess with it. But obviously, if you want to backtest and play with it, go for it. News filter does require setting up, and I'll show you how that's set up. And then the last thing I do is stock market crash filter. And I've got this set on false, but you could turn it to true. And what that's saying is that if the S&P 500, and I put in US 500, S&P 500, I think that's I don't think I changed that. So that's those two. But you could add, I guess you could add different ones to it if you so desired. But if the US 500 and S&P 500 crash, or SPX, then it would stop the trading basically and keep you from being caught in a crash. Of course, if you're in the right position, you can make a lot of money on that, I guess. Comments, trade comment. This is usually the name of the bot in the trade comment. If you're going to use a prop firm, change it to your name. Say it's, Malachi's bot. And then it's going to be harder for them to say what bot you're using. The unique ID, if you're running multiple bots on the same platform, you can change the UID. You can hide it so it does not show this panel over here. Ooh, I can change the font size because I'm getting old. Let's see here. Let's do that. Let's change it to 8. All right. And that should be everything done there. Hey, bigger fonts, what do you know? So we're going to pop this open. Now, we are going to look at two things. First, I'm going to show the news filter. If it's, once again, it's in the setup, but you just go to tools and options, expert advisors. You're going to allow web requests for the listed URLs, and she gives you the list of the different websites to put in there. So we're going to look at these ChatGPT and AI filter. So let's just pick something. I've used this one before, so I know what that's going to say. Let's say pound franc, and let's say Bard, and let's hit forecast. And what it does is it runs out and tells you what the forecast is. Let's see what it says. So, absence of a decisive trend, market analysis indicates that the pound franc pair currently lacks a clear trend in direction. Volatility within a narrow band. The pair has experienced some volatility within the narrow band of 1.10 to 1.158 with no clear trend evident. Higher volatility, current volatility levels are higher than the average, which suggests tougher chance of ranging movements. Prudence advised given these market conditions. It is advisable to continue the existing trading strategies until definitive trend becomes evident. Interesting. So let's look at, so then theoretically, I think that would open any trade because there's no clear trend. Let's look at US CAD. So basically what this is saying, gentle downward slope continues exhibit a soft bearish trend. So theoretically, if that had a bullish signal, it shouldn't take it because it's in a bearish trend. So that's how the AI filter works. I love that. It does it mean that it won't make some trades? Probably, but hopefully it doesn't. It also means it doesn't get me stuck into a trade that goes super deep. So that's the basics of this. And let's jump into the MyFX book results from running it with machine learning and without machine learning, as well as running the live account over the last month. So this is the live account on Ox Securities. I will put a link down below if you're looking for an offshore broker that will let you use higher leverage. This is a 1 to 300. I've been running this since the 29th of August, and it's up 6.14% for the month of September. So let's just run down. We did see it has that one New Zealand US dollar pair open. I did get a wee bit of trading on the last day of August, but really it's been running fully this month. And let's look at one other thing that people do like to look at is the duration that it's holding the trades. As you can see here, the majority of the trades close within 12 hours, and it does string out, and the longest one it held all month was 2 days and 3 hours. It's pretty good. I don't love to see trades that are held for weeks or months on end. And we're just going to look here right now. Right now it's 71% of its shorts are won. And 65% of its longs are won. So it's not hitting its 90%, but it is being profitable. So this is a demo that I've only been running for about a week. Let's see, yeah, since September 25th. And I'm only pulling this up. What I want to do is I want to show the trades. So this is with machine learning on. It took 11 trades. And then here's a demo in the same time frame with machine learning off, and it took 25 trades. So almost twice as many trades, but bigger drawdown. So drawdown of 11% versus with machine learning on a drawdown of 4%. And this last week of September was hard on some of these bots, some big movements. I'm not worried about it recovering. It will. And then the gain in that week, 1.42% to 2.93%. So with machine learning off, it takes more trades, higher profit, higher risk. Every time you're going to push profit higher, you're also going to push your drawdown and your risk higher because you have to make larger and bigger trades. I don't know any way around it. So that's just the way it is. These are demo accounts. We're going to let them run. We'll come back and review them in 3 months and see how they did over the 3-month period. If there is something you would like to see about this bot or about another bot, leave a comment down below. That helps my YouTube algorithm as well as lets me know what people are looking for. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions and maybe not by the end of the year, but in the first quarter of 2024, so that I can actually do a series that shows how much money YouTube pays the content providers. So thank you very much, and see you next time.